Oh, it's time. Time to get radical.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to Radical Comment of the Week for July 5th through July 11th, 2021. These are the very best comments from that time period, starting out with the honorable mentions. We got Juliet India Mobile, Hooded Farmer, and Rusty Shackelford. The bronze medal comes to us from the Winged Avenger. The most despicable e-beggars on YouTube are the ones who beg not only for money, but for pity and sympathy as well. That's how they get even more money than they've already received. They'll tell you that they're down in the dumps, i.e. beat-em-ups, that they're second-grade teachers, Hancock and Top Hat, that they used to be homeless, Dreamcast guy, or that their house is flooded, MGR and 8-Bit guy. I could make a long list, but there's no need because the same three ploys are used in all cases. The e-beggar either says 1, I have a terrible problem that requires funds. 2, I'm an upstanding citizen because I do so and so for a living. Or 3, I'm suffering or have suffered in the past. From what I can tell, these are the three main variants of the sympathy plea. Consequently, some people who are already paying money to these scroungers feel the need to pay more, and some people who weren't previously convinced get taken in when the e-begging arouses pity. The sympathy tactic can also be used to reel in suckers to pay into a scam. These guys are more cunning than they look. You know, I always notice this when I go to these channels and that they have these sympathy pity videos. And I outlined these sympathy pity videos. There's, like you said, many different variants. But it started when I started talking about MGR and the Basement League scam. At its core, that was a sympathy type of upload. Because you have a person that they never had a history of uploading anything to their channel other than just talking about games and the game pickups and talking about prices on the games. But that just kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. Basically indirect. It's stealth e-begging. But you had a lot of great points there. Now, when it comes to this one that comes up, what is this one that you mentioned? Yeah, that they're second grade teachers, a Hancock or a Top Hat, you know. They bring these things up out of the blue because they want to form a connection with their audience, which, like I said, is fine as long as you're not e-begging from that said audience. I can see it. Winged Avenger can see it. Hopefully, by the time I'm done on this platform, a lot more people will see exactly what's going on. Thank you, Winged Avenger. P.O. Box Christmas is going to be the silver medal. This is another fine example of Tom Tallarico thinking that he can just invent his own definition for words. There's a list of dishonesty and deceit long enough for him to go on a apology world tour at this point. Where to start? Him saying the games are all Amico exclusives? Him saying they have the biggest licenses in the world? Him saying they have physical copies? Him saying he faked the controller lag to troll Pat? There was no lag, just looked like that in GIF format? Burger Time? Jay Allard? No crowdfunding? Relic Gamer? Again, this is why you put somebody as CEO over your company who has a background in things like marketing, business management, who actually understands the tech and specs that they are discussing. You want somebody with a decent IQ, not some D-list musician internet troll who brags about how rich he is all the time. Tommy is the Achilles heel of the Amico. It's going to be what ultimately sinks it. He does try to have it both ways. He wants to constantly say how small of a company they are and how they're the underdog, but he also wants to brag about being rich and having haters. Tommy is the midlife crisis stepdad who wears his hat sideways and says, "What's up, home dogs?" when your friends come over. No CEO in their right mind would constantly refer to skeptical customers as haters. Let's just see how Tommy's troll strategy works out for his career. Bring on October boys. Yeah, making his own definition for words, the dishonesty you talk about. Yeah, like, I would just question any company that had someone like that as their CEO, just the way he carries himself. You know, it's just very non-professional. The fact that he gets in these war of words and battles with people, places, It's just very non-professional. Now, you can make an argument, well, at least he's interacting with individuals, but I've seen some of his interactions. You said he wants to say how it's a small company and they're the underdog, but he wants to brag about being rich and having haters. Well, I think part of his appeal to people is in the pitch. As a salesman, I don't know, probably he's had success in his life trying to upsell. Just, you see what he's talking about, all of his accomplishments, trying to upsell his accomplishments. It is just really sad to see somebody that doesn't have a giant influence on the video game industry. He does not. Looking back, it is not a giant influence. He's not going to be one of those people who look back on and say, well, you know what? The video game industry was far better because Tommy Tallarico. No, I think he's doing a lot to kind of sour his image now with basically a lot of the lies that he's telling on the Amico. Now, if you catch somebody in a lie, if you catch anyone in a lie, then there's a big possibility in the future that they're going to lie again. And, when you have a person like Tommy Tallarico, I just couldn't trust him. He's a person that I just can't trust. And I think he has the wool pulled over the eyes of a lot of people, and it's kind of sad. Now, the gold medal, the shiny, shiny gold medal, comes to us from Juliet India Mobile. And it might be a brief pause halfway through because I had to clip. Well, maybe I'll fit this all in one, but I'm having to really kind of zoom in the text here because it's a long comment. Juliet India Mobile says, funny because YouTube is conditioning sheep for that same thing. Watch a YouTube ad for a YouTube video that contains a sponsored ad, and oh yeah, don't forget to click that join. I don't really see corporations going down this route. Streaming is going to implode before then. It's already starting down that path. These services will understand that perceived value is important to consumers. That's why each service seems to have exclusive content. I see these services ending up going to a free service with ads similar to YouTube, with the potential to have upsells. For example, want it ad-free, it's upsell. Want those exclusive everyone's talking about, upsell. I even see more collaboration between companies as a means to get you interested in both. You have to understand that anti-consumer practices hurt companies a lot. It also drives piracy, especially in the digital age, which piracy combined with anti-consumer practices will kill revenue very fast. Don't believe me? I'll give you 3 examples. Microsoft, from charging for giving away Windows. If you've ever did a quick Google search, you'll find a vast amount of legitimate Windows 10 Pro keys for about $10. Want to buy a copy at retail? Easily over $100. Instead of spending a ton on trying to stave off piracy and loopholes for legitimate keys, just give it away. This is one more step towards making Windows-based machines more accessible. This broadens the audience and allows them to collect and sell more customer data, different topic altogether, but much more profitable compared to charging. Epic Games. Fortnite has made that company blow up. The game is free. Anyone with an account and internet connection can play. However, consumers are still willing to pay for superficial digital content and enough that this company throws cash around like nobody's business. I remember sports stars, and athletes on boxes of Wheaties cereal, but the next generation will remember them based on who was a Fortnite skin. Proof that the first hit is free is relevant in more than just drugs. WinRAR. I'm pretty sure everyone has used this at one point. You get an evaluation copy of the software that never seems to end. You can indefinitely evaluate the software apparently. However, after 30 days, every time you open it, that annoying pop-up shows up for you to buy the software. It never loses functionality, just keeps reminding you to buy the software. I don't have anything concrete, but I'm pretty sure that there are quite a few folks that just paid the damn $30 to not get annoyed by the pop-up. Same as Microsoft. Virtually no piracy because the software just keeps chugging along. They make the most of their money from enterprise solutions that don't lose money for theft. If subscription services are to do anything, they will fall before they hit total monopoly. Hard to hit year upon year growth when you've priced yourself out of the average consumer's wallet. I love my physical media, but the all-digital future is unavoidable. Now, you talk about many different things here. Microsoft, Epic Games, WinRAR. You give examples that it is better to make pro-consumer decisions for companies, especially now with the rise of the internet. You know, you look at a lot of these companies that are really kind of held under a microscope. Look at a lot of the gaming companies. It's bad for business. It is bad for business. In games, in many things, it's bad for business to have anti-consumer practices. Now, on the other side of things, there seems to be a big benefit when there are pro-consumer practices made. I know it's unrelated, but look at the Sonic movie. The Sonic movie did very, very, very well. A lot of people were excited about going to see the Sonic movie. Some of those people weren't even really going to see it, really, but they really loved the fact that they changed the Sonic. You know, they made a pro-consumer decision. But what if actually that was just done as a smokescreen? A lot of people think it was done as a smokescreen because there was no intention whatsoever to actually have that stupid-looking Sonic. But people, because of they gave their money basically to go watch the movie. Some even, like I said, that probably weren't even really interested because they're like, hey, I applaud you. Great job in doing that. You talk about the pop-up that pops up, you know. I guess it plays to people, making them feel bad for not, paying for WinRAR. And $30 seems pricey for it. It's nice that they allow it, to be used. But $30 does seem pricey for that. Oh, and Fortnite. Fortnite is an example, and a lot of people really they plain up hate Fortnite. I get that. I understand that. You can argue that those skins are really pricey, and you said the first hit is kind of free, but I mean, kind of like, what do you want though? I mean, they're offering like it's a free game, So if you look at something like Fortnite, 10, 20 years ago, it would be absurd that there would be something like that you could actually play for free.